Wars universe has continually been one of the most vivid and exciting environments for players and game designers alike. This fall, LucasArts and Pandemic Studios emerged from hyperspace to present Star Wars Battlefront, one of the most epic and highly anticipated Star Wars-based games ever created.
Star Wars Battlefront is a totally different type of Star Wars game.
You're building your own Star Wars fantasy. You're picking your own characters.
You can be a stormtrooper, a rebel pilot, a clone trooper, battle droid.
Really, at the core of what this game is recreating the great battle. This game is just jam-packed with replayability because there's no set outcome. You know, the way you play the game determines how the game's going to end.
Destroy the shield bunker.
You can play every campaign as a rebel and then go back and play as an Imperial.
And then in multiplayer, of course, I mean, that's where replayability really comes in. You could play this game for months and months and months on end, and you'll never repeat the exact same experience. And you'll never repeat the exact same experience. And you'll never repeat the exact same experience.
I remember getting this game Christmas Day in the year 2005. The memories, a classic. The only game I compare it to is Republic Commando. This game absolutely deserves a video where it is the definitive shit. This game is fucking huge and changed everything. Gaming, Star Wars, everything changed when this little Marvel showed up. It's so much goddamn fun. It's so incredible, so refined, so mechanically brilliant. The controls and gameplay, there's so much that works really well for the time it came out, making it stand the test of time. This game is brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. This game has one of the most brilliant design, some of the most refined mechanics, gameplay, animation, and movement ever put to a third-person shooter. This game competes with many modern third-person shooters because they don't have the same scale and scope. Even Battlefield is nowhere near the same scale, scope, and map design. Something DICE sacrificed in their new Battlefront. Yet, when you come here in Star Wars Battlefront, they have this incredible map design. The gameplay is unique. You have the reinforcement system, a class system, an actual legitimate class system. This class system keeps every game fresh. The replayability is insane. So much time and effort, so much passion and care put into the gameplay. This is some of the most played, if not the single most played video game series ever, and Star Wars games ever. Pandemic Studios, I commend you for bringing this brilliance to the table. For this, we'll be looking at the PS2 version and the PC version. It has the content of all 6 films, so that's a lot of content. The training was badass, showing you the tutorial of Galactic Conquest, which is not in the PC version for some reason, but it is on the PS2 version. Holy crap, this is so freaking badass. This awesome campaign shows you the real Star Wars battles. These huge battles we only got to see once. We now get to interact with it with a small story in between. Really good. Very sandboxy, very fun. It would have been nice to have a full story, but at least it's huge, open, and free. Instant action, freedom in gameplay, immediately jump into action as a trooper class, and free maps, and whoop ass. Galactic Conquest, take over planets, gain bonuses, and kick more ass. Super duper complex, yet simple in all the right ways. Hell yeah! Campaign, yes, you heard me correctly. There is a goddamn single player, great epic battles, freedom, and sandboxy. Class system. The class system is how you be a badass in Battlefront. In the new trash Battlefront, people are corner camping, exploit using pussies. So there's no skill and no class system to flesh out the gameplay. Here, however, you have 5 ways to impact the battle and commit to teamwork in 5 different ways. Trooper, ARC Trooper, Jet Trooper, Sniper, and Clone Pilot. Infantry, anti-vehicle support, Jet Trooper, because it's badass. Snipers and engineers all serve a purpose in the battlefield, all provide for the team. You can impact the battlefield in many different ways, and no class is underpowered or overpowered. Some that may have been were later buffed in the sequel, the Electric Bowcaster. It takes skill. It's not really a lack of balance, because if he can give you health and ammo, he can't really be too overpowered. They all impact the gameplay in different ways. The map design is some of the most brilliant, intricate map design. So great, it competes with FPS games and their maps. This map design is brilliant. It adds to the game on a whole new level. This game has content up the ass. So much content. Where the hell is the fucking content in the new Battlefront? They hold back content in their games and spoon feed it in sequels and DLC. So scummy. One of the most ambitious multiplayer games ever made, with a unique objective-based system known as command posts. People use teamwork to cut off your reinforcements and capture the command posts. The game is one of the most refined and well-balanced games ever created, and it is incredible. How could it be that EA gets their dirty mitts on Star Wars Battlefront, an innocent franchise, and look at what EA has done to the name? The incredible gameplay design, the unique gameplay loop. So what makes Battlefront special? You gotta understand how first-person shooters are now today. They don't have unique gameplay loops with a lot of first-person shooters. A lot of games in the modern era have the same gameplay loops, hallway shoot-em-ups, you go home. Battlefront, good luck doing that. You better play with the objectives are set. You better make sure those reinforcement counts are alright. You better make sure that there's enough ammo and medical droids. You better use the commands. You can command squads of people in Battlefront. That's how immersive Battlefront was online, people. Online. Why the fuck can't you do this shit in the new game? I want to be able to do amazing shit like this in the new fucking game, and I can't. That's immersive and brilliant. Moving forward, the thing is, in Star Wars Battlefront, you have to understand the gameplay and features, the way it feels, the way that you go to vehicles, the amount of things happening on the same map. See, when you place things in a map a certain way, that is map design. This works very well for the soldiers and Battlefield. You play these new modern games, and they always have the same kind of map design. The same shit all over the map. The same hallway. Ever played the new Modern Warfare? People just camp in the same spot in a room. Battlefront, you can't play it like this. It requires teamwork and skill. Try and camp in Battlefront. See what that does for you. All these 15 squads of people will show up and obliterate you. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, campers suck my dick. I'm whooping their ass. I've been whooping their ass for years. But in Battlefront, you can't just get away with that. You gotta think. In the new game, you don't gotta think for shit. It's a Twitch-based shooter. When you have the class system, it makes you impact the game in different ways and play the game in different ways. So no game is ever the same each round. Vehicles are free. So you get to ride a vehicle however you see fit. Vehicle balancing is a big deal because you can't simply destroy a vehicle. You have to know what you're doing. In Battlefront 1, it's very difficult to destroy a vehicle outside the heavy class. Vehicles serve a purpose. In Battlefield 3, tanks were overpowered. In Battlefront 1, they are balanced. Although there could be more ways to destroy one, that's a minor thing, it's still very balanced, and they later fixed that slight thing in Battlefront 2. Just a small note, vehicles are extremely balanced in Battlefront 1, very. Now, the mechanics are very solid and smooth. The movement and animations are gorgeous. They work well for the reinforcements, to the amount of mechanics and fluid gameplay. They took their time building up many animations behind shooting. Third person or first person. When they move, they shoot. When a grenade is tossed, when you take damage, the gameplay is very refined. They even have friendly fire. It adds a whole new level of immersion to make sure you do not hurt your teammates. Large open areas as well, so they have a mixture of interiors and exteriors as well. This keeps the game fresh. So when you have map design flow, it changes the way the game, enemies, and environment flow throughout the map. This gameplay change and flow is brought to you by Battlefront. The first Battlefront is a special kind of experience, tied to how they balance their gameplay design. It's extremely balanced. They have an incredible gameplay design. The way the mechanics are ahead of their time. The gun shooter mechanics are ambitious. You can freely roam inside of vehicles. In 2015 Battlefront, they do it in coins. This is a very unrefined and awful way of allowing players to roam vehicles. It's restrictive and awful. You can't even roam vehicles whenever you want to. See, the funny thing is, Pandemic Studios created a game prior to this called Clone Wars. This was a vehicle-only game in that they created these amazing vehicles that felt heavy and real. So when the first Battlefront came out, you had all these vehicles, this huge map, all these soldiers and people everywhere. Very immersive. Tarragon is laying it down. Well, now, hopefully, you're now informed on the brilliance of Pandemic Studios. Pandemic, I will always be proud of you. And to those of you that have come, I now have 100 subscribers. Very excited. This is very great. And thank you for being here. I want to thank you all. And, if you want to comment, let me know. And Tarragon is now out this piece.